Hello everyone, welcome back to more Space Alert. Thinking about difficulty levels, I do feel a little bit bad just always playing, oh, yellow, no fancy stuff. But I still feel like for solo that's pretty reasonable. Oh, I guess, so when I play with other people, I like to sit blue. Because it's just like the color pawn I'm used to being. But I think for playing solo, I really should sit red because then it puts the deck here, which is just closer to everything. Also, I have to change the hand. I'm going to fix the hand zones. Back in a sec. All right. I suppose one thing I could do in the scripting, if I wanted to, is if only one player is playing, I could delete everyone else's hand zones and make their hand zone bigger. Probably. I don't know how to locate a hand zone. I'm sure there's a way to do it, but I'd have to look it up. It would be harder than just adding a little highlight in the middle of an existing function like I did for the damage tiles. Anyway, I feel like it's a little bit boring to just play on the same settings every time, but it's a game setting difficulty that I enjoy, and I think is suitable to playing in solo. One thing I do always say about games like this, any single-player game, well, many single-player games, depending on the goal, I say if you're winning every time and you can turn up the difficulty, you should, because you're not challenging yourself. And so, you know what? I lost the last game. This is evidence that all yellow threats is a reasonable setting for me. And I do enjoy winning as well as challenging myself, so I don't want to like crank it up to something where I'll always lose. But let's just play another one here. I'll go ahead and draw like 40 cards now. There's no... In multiplayer, there's a surprise about what cards you're going to get. In single player, it's pretty much always the same set of cards. You know, you could even sort the cards. That would be pretty cool, but I'm not going to do that. It would be, I'm sure, a lot more work scripting to do that. And, like, how do you even want it sorted? Because, like, where does the down C go? Does it go in the C's, the downs? Do you just randomly pick half the cards? I don't know. So anyway, we did soundtracks 4, 5, and 6, so we're going to do 7 next. And again, if you don't know how Space Alert works, you know, see the last few videos of mine on the topic, where I explain things a little bit more. It's just too fast a game for me to explain most of my thinking as I play through, but then I can explain some of it, and then I can post-talk in the resolution round explain what I was thinking. Anyway, moving on. 7.
Alert. Enemy activity detected.
Okay, let's
Please
see what
first phase.
everybody has here. We have a battle bot, both battle bots, a B and an A, both blue. Oh, and we don't get, our first threat is one that's unconfirmed, so we don't know what we need to do yet. I'm gonna send you downstairs, I guess. Refilling the reactor is usually desirable. I could heroically do it, but you don't usually need that much energy. It's better using for shields, I feel like.
T+3. Serious threat. Zone red. Repeat.
A nebula crab in the red zone.
Serious threat. Zone red.
Can't be targeted by rockets. Time 3 is 4. Okay, so if we could shoot it with both cannons twice, that's basically what you have to do to kill it before it gets to its X. And once it gets to X, it's really hard to kill. So I think that's fine. We'll, you like BattleBots, so I'll send you over to lower red. And you'll press A twice. And, you can go to upper red because you have a teleport to lower blue if you want it. Nothing much for you to do while you're here. So just wait. This shows up on 3, right? Yeah. Like this. We could have you use a heroic A, and then we wouldn't need the shot from red on 4.
Serious internal threat.
So if red needs something to do,
T+4. Serious
phasing anomaly on 4. Okay, we've seen that one before. Just get in there. No, I don't think we need red for anything. So let's grab this energy. You can have it. Green's here, red's here.
Data transfer. Repeat. Data transfer in 5.
Blue, come back upstairs
2.
using one of these, I guess,
Data transfer.
to work on this thing. Yellow, you are just chilling where you are. So get the computer.
First phase
And
ends
then
in 1
this shows up on 4? Yeah, so we don't really have time for you. Ah, here's what we could do. There. Now yellow has time to go get the blue battle bots. And still be back.
Communications
This way, if
system
there's
down.
an internal threat, an intruder, they can handle it. And I guess B is going to be, blue is going to be busy for a while, so let's give him the heroic B now. We get 1 extra energy, even above the maximum capacity. So there's plenty of energy in the
First phase
white zone.
ends in 20 seconds.
And so yellow and blue are supposed to work on this anomaly thing with lots of C actions, right? It is C? Yes.
First phase
On
ends in 5.
even numbered turns. They have to do it together.
1.
And on C, it'll be phased out, so one of them needs to use that opportunity to get the
Begin
computer.
second phase.
And then on 6, did I say on C?
Threat.
On 5.
Zone white. Repeat. Time. T
On 6,
plus
rather.
5. Threat.
5 threat white. Got it. It's a scout. Oh, you don't like to see us in the white zone. But yeah, because they can't be targeted by heavy lasers, which is white's main advantage.
Incoming data.
A couple rockets would do it, but no one is near the rockets. Would have been better if I had used the heroic thing and had red just leave. But I didn't know if I would want him in red or somewhere else. Okay, so this is dealt with.
Threat. Zone red. Repeat.
Red zone threat again?
Threat. Zone red.
Oh man, can anyone get to lower blue quickly? It's red, isn't it? Green. Green, right, that's what I meant. The one in upper red. Okay, that's fine. Go.
Data transfer. Repeat. Data
Your job is to
transfer
launch a
in 5,
rocket,
4, 3, 2.
which will hit on 7.
Data transfer complete.
Can I wait? Can I do that? I can't actually coordinate with it by shooting the pulse cannon on 7. So I think actually I'll just have you launch 2 rockets.
Threat. Zone white. Repeat. Time. T plus 8. Threat.
Okay, you love jellyfishes on the white zone though. Okay, so this scout is just gonna get blown up by rockets on hitting on 7 and 8. 6. It'll be here on 7, here on 8. That's fine. Okay. Rockets have taken care of the scout. We need another player over here. It looks like blue or yellow could go. Let's send yellow. I don't know.
Data transfer. Repeat. Data transfer in 5.
Red needs to get some energy in here.
2, 1. Data transfer complete.
And yellow and red can fire together on 8, which is the perfect time to shoot at the stealth or phantom fighter.
Second phase ends
Yellow and red,
in
right?
1
That's
minute.
who I moved? Yeah, okay. And so I think if blue just hits A twice on this thing, it'll take 7 and then 7 and be dead. No problem. Starting on 8. So someone else needs to come work on the computer if possible at that time? Can we do that? No? Everyone's busy. Well, green isn't. But he can't really help. Yellow has a teleport to here, but that doesn't help. He's busy. rockets aren't going to help. Who has battle bots? You.
Second phase.
The jellyfish isn't going to get close enough for that to matter. Well, the good news is we haven't taken damage on any of the zones yet, right?
Second phase has ended. Begin third phase.
So I could just let it attack one on all zones after player turn 9 and then shoot on 10 and 11. Looks like that's what I'm going to have to do. Yeah, 10 and 11. That's fine.
Communication system down.
Come here.
Communications restored. Communication system
And
down.
I need more cards, please. Okay, that's plenty.
Communications restored.
Yeah, I wish I could have done this a little bit more cleanly. But I just didn't have the manpower to deal with this guy more quickly. Is everyone where they're supposed to be? Red is in lower red, blue is in upper white. I haven't got any of this wrong. Yellow... Uh-oh, what is this? Yellow was already over there, huh?
Restored.
I made him bonk into a wall. No, he moved white, blue, then back to white, and then to red.
In
Okay.
1 minute.
And green... is in lower blue. Yeah, okay. Well, a last-minute rocket isn't going to help, but I guess a rocket on 8 might do something if I've misjudged the scout. And, like, fire a pulse cannon on 11 just in case. Get that window. Yellow.
Operation ends in 20 seconds.
I'm not going to fight over the window, man. Am I? I mean, why not? I don't have anything else to do, right? Red just needs to move
Operation
blue
ends
first.
in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Blue can't.
Mission complete. Jump
Press A
to
one more time just
space.
in case. Alright, let's see how we did. New threats on 1. Nope. And let me just make sure I didn't forget a threat. Yeah, we have 7 points worth of threats. Okay. Actions 1. Blue went downstairs. Even though I'm playing as red, blue is still the captain. The leftmost is the easiest for me to remember. Red moves red. Yellow moves blue. We haven't needed the battle bots in any of these 3 or 4 missions, I think. Is that true? 4? No, we used them against the Seeker. That's not true. And green gets the computer. Threats move. There ain't none. No, damage. Threats move. New threats 2. Still nothing. Actions 2. Blue heroically fills the main reactor, filling it to its maximum capacity and a bonus for the heroicness. Heroism, I guess? Red goes downstairs. Yellow presses C, getting battle bots. And green moves red. Sometimes my brain just stops for a bit. Damage, none. Threats move, still none. Did we get the computer? Yes. Threats on 3. Finally, an enemy has appeared. Actions 3. Blue goes back to the bridge. Red presses A, firing the little laser. Yellow moves back to the bridge. They both had some prep work to do. And green presses A, firing the big laser. Well, the medium-sized laser, not as big as the white one. Damage. So we are shooting with both red lasers at the crab for 6, it takes 4. Damage. Threats. Threats move. Crab moves 2, takes no actions. New threats on 4. There is a phasing anomaly on the bridge. Computer access has been denied. Actions 4. Blue presses C, working on repairing the anomaly. Red presses A, firing the little laser again. Yellow presses C, actually repairing the anomaly, partially at least. And green presses A, firing the big laser again. Damage. The crab is shot for 6, takes 4 more, goes to 8 damage, and dies. I moved it a little bit too vigorously, it would seem. Then clean up the damage cubes. I guess I should clean up this black cube as well. That's all the damage. Threats move. The only one is this guy who moves 3 and phases out, taking no other action. Threats 5. We have a scout. Actions 5. Blue presses C, which normally when there's a malfunction in a station, pressing the button associated with that malfunction works on the malfunction. Instead of doing its normal action. That would make the phasing anomaly a problem, because if it appeared on a turn when you need to get the computer, you kind of couldn't do it, right? I think that's why the designer made this a phasing threat, is so that you always have 2 turns to get the computer, and on at least one of those 2 turns, there's guaranteed not to be a phasing anomaly. So pressing C here, there is a malfunction, but it's phased out, so it doesn't exist, so we can get the computer. We're on, what, 5? Yeah. Red presses B, powering up the green energy cubes into the red zone. Yellow is waiting for the anomaly to return. And green is, yes, teleporting to lower blue. What a hero. I was like, the scout, how are we ever going to get Rockets the scout in time? There's no one near here. Oh, I teleported. I forgot. Great. Compute damage. We shot at nothing. Threats and rockets move. We haven't moved any. There's no rockets to move. The anomaly phases in, moves 1, 2, 3. It disrupts the white zone optics. Then the scout moves 1, 2, and takes no action. Did I get... Well, by the way, disrupting the white zone optics while there's a threat out there that's not allowed to be targeted by the heavy lasers anyway is kind of nice. Anyway, we did get the computer. New threats 6. There is nothing. Action 6. Blue presses C for the 3rd time in a row, taking care of the inaccessibility of the phasing anomaly, which is phased in. Red does nothing. Yellow presses C, also working on the anomaly, and that is enough to defeat it. Or repair it, depending on your perspective. And green also presses C, launching a rocket. Damage. We're not shooting. Oh, this is gone as well. Threats and rockets move. 1 rocket, 1 threat. So, the scout moves. Other external threats advance 1 square, but there aren't any. No problem. No, I read the wrong thing. I thought so. X. Until destroyed, other external threats have +1 to attacks. So there aren't any external threats, but if any showed up and started attacking, that would do something. Threats on 7. We have a Phantom Fighter. Actions 7. Blue is waiting. Red is waiting for the fighter to become visible. Yellow moves red to prepare for the fighter. And green presses C, launching another rocket. Damage. The rocket is the only thing in the air right now. It is targeting the closest enemy at distance 2 or less, which is the scout. Can't be targeted by heavy lasers, but it can certainly be targeted by rockets, so it takes 2 damage. Threats and rockets move. This rocket, this threat, and this threat. It is now decloaked. And I suppose I should note, it attacks for more, because we haven't killed the scout yet. New threats 8, there is one. It's a jellyfish. Actions 8. Blue, noting the appearance of a giant jellyfish, decides to ignore it and work on the computer. Red, noting the appearance of a phantom fighter, decides actually we should shoot at this. He fires the lower laser. Yellow also presses A, firing the upper laser. And green, for good measure, fires the last rocket in case I messed up with the scout somehow. Damage. Let's see. The rocket targets the scout, the closest threat, and destroys it. This 6 damage targets the red zone threat, which is visible because it crossed its X, and it is destroyed. That's all the damage. Threats and rocket move. Threat and rocket move, really. Jellyfish moves 2. Right? Yeah. Actions 9. Blue 9 does nothing. Red presses A just in case there was some problem with the stealth fighter, I guess. Yellow, I mean, not that pressing just the lower laser would help at all, but yellow comes downstairs to join him. And green moves red. Damage. This laser misses. This rocket could target the jellyfish. It's in the right distance, but the jellyfish cannot be targeted by a rocket. Like all organics, rockets don't mess with it. Threats move. The jellyfish moves 2. It attacks 1 on all zones. 1, 1, 1. And heals half of its damage, which is 0. Did I get the computer? Yes. Actions 10. Blue presses A. Red is waiting. Yellow moves blue. Green presses A. Just in case. I mean, it could be a disaster to press that A button, right? If I didn't know I had spare energy lying around, I wouldn't have pressed A. But since I knew there was spare energy, I thought, what the heck? But if you're playing in a game with other people, don't just press A just in case, because they might need that energy. Double check that the energy is available. Anyway, damage. So the laser and the pulse cannon both target this jellyfish. So he's being shot for 6. He has -2 shields, and therefore takes 8. Threats move. Jellyfish moves 2, does nothing. Actions 11. Blue presses A again, using the last of the energy. Red moves blue. Yellow... Oh. Sorry. Green didn't actually fire the pulse cannon last turn. He's doing it this turn. So that's one less damage here. And the energy cube that he spent miraculously returns and is being spent now. Damage. That's 6, which is 8. He's at 15 damage, comfortably destroyed. Well, he's not comfortable with it. I am. Threats and rockets move, but there are none. Actions 12. Blue tries to press A, but green... Okay, green probably still shouldn't have used the energy, because blue's just in case shot would be way better. It would hit for 7, whereas green's only hit for 1. Oh well, doesn't matter. So blue tries to fire, but finds no energy. It's a miss. And then red, yellow, and green all press C, garnering a completely useless 3 points. Damage, there's none. Threats move, there's none. Damage, there's none. Threats move, there's none. The ship jumps to hyperspace, and you escape. So, finally, a clean, perfect mission. No damage to anything. Everything went exactly how I meant for it to go. What is this snapping to? I guess it's snapping to the snap point I put here? Yeah. Wow, the rockets have really weird anchor points. Because this snaps here. This thinks its center of mass is the center of the cube, right? And so it's nailed to the top left of the card. That's where I put the snap point on cards. I probably should have set it to a conditional snap point that only snaps cubes, but I didn't. But then this rocket, like, wants to go here. Crazy. Yeah, its anchor point, its center of mass is like the right side of this fin. Is that right? Yeah, look. That same fin. If I turn it around, I mean it's actually like over here in space, past the fin. So some small problem with that thing's model, which explains why I had so much trouble getting these snap points to work. I don't know if you've noticed, the snap points for the rockets are really nice. They're not absolutely perfect, but they're really good. Anyway. We escaped. A total of 7 times 6 is 42 points, plus 3 windows, 45. And the crowd was jubilant and rejoiced. There you go. Well, maybe I'll try making it more difficult somehow in the next mission. I don't know. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.